the previous winners, Argentina, are of course the team to beat in Group J. I mean, Cameron, I think without going too much into them, we will obviously go into them a little bit more. We assume they are going to be the team to beat in this competition. I think this is going to be the place where they actually, for me, I think there's a golden boot winner in here very easily, and I think it's Julian Alvarez. I think they're going to batter this group, and I think he's going to score a lot of goals in doing so.
Again, I don't hate it. I don't hate the shout. I think obviously Argentina are the favourites in this group. I think they'll get the 9 points and they'll be comfortable throughout the opening stages of this tournament. I think Jordan are the worst team in it, but then I'm looking at Austria and Algeria, and they're not offering a lot at the moment. I think they're both okay teams.
You are right in that. I don't think there's an obvious second. That's the thing.
I think, when do they play each other? They play each other on the last game of the group as well, Algeria and Austria. So I think it all depends on how well they can play against Argentina, and see how little goals they can concede against them, but then how much they can beat Jordan by. So then going into the last game, they know what they need to do.
I think this is a sort of sign of this World Cup group. I think it's the worst team that is in the group. It's how many that you can beat them by, and I think we always talk about it's a World Cup. We want to see goals. We want to see the spectacle. We want to see the big moments, and I just feel like in this group in particular, particularly for Argentina, again, while I mentioned the Julian Alvarez golden boot shout, is I think that they will absolutely go and steamroll Jordan, and I think they can actually go and steamroll all the teams in this. I think there's a very obvious golfing class amongst the rest of them. But yeah, with Jordan being the worst team in this group, with all due respect to them, that their aim for this tournament is to score a goal. Like that is the thing that will get there, to get the country going, and that'll be the thing. I think they all know what it is, and I think that's also one of the beauteous things about the World Cup is everyone talks about who's going to go and win it, who's going to go and do this, who's going to go and do that, but actually, you're in a position where you've got teams like Jordan who have qualified for the very first time, and their success is very, very different. So very best of luck to them in this tournament, because we don't want to see anyone just get battered in these groups. You want to try and have everyone can take something away. Someone could make themselves a national hero by scoring 1 goal in this tournament. So I hope that does happen. But the other 2 teams in Algeria and Austria, for me, I would turn around and say that Austria probably have the advantage in this. But that's more to do with the fact that they've been at tournaments before. I know Algeria have, and I'm pretty sure Algeria ended up getting drawing against England in 2010. I think England beat them 1-0.
Yeah, Algeria have been in and around the tournaments for the last couple of years. But
the thing is, they don't do anything. Where Austria, we've seen them. I know it's the Euros in particular, but we've seen them get out of the group. We've seen them get out of the group, and we've seen them sort of push on, and they normally do bow out in a reasonable sort of format. They'll always give someone a half decent game, and then it just isn't enough. Algeria are the team in this, I feel like, if they do get out of the group, are the team that could go and get well beaten to get knocked out, where Austria, I feel like, are going to be that little bit more competitive. So that game amongst themselves, where when they play each other with that Algeria and Austria, you just essentially need to beat that team on the last day. In the UK, it's a 3:00 kickoff, so it's a night game for them on the 28th of June. So it's right towards the end of the group stages. I don't. Obviously, the game before, of course, with Argentina versus Algeria, it's going to be don't get too battered, and it might be the thing that ends up sort of coming back to bite someone on the backside. But I feel like Argentina will run away with this group, and Algeria will be the ones that have the most to prove, maybe. I think Austria will get through either way. I feel like Austria could still get through as a 3rd place team. I feel like for Algeria, they have to go through in second. I don't think they're going to have enough. If they do finish 3rd, I feel like that's sort of the writing on the wall for them. Because I do think that they're going to struggle in the other games. It's just, again, how many they beat Jordan by, which is an unknown quantity, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just looking at the teams as well, just like who they have in the squads. And Austria, a lot of Bundesliga players who you may have heard
Yeah.
of throughout. You've also got
There's
Alvarez,
faces. There's faces that you can identify with.
Konrad Laimer for Bayern Munich. You've got, I think it's an old. Is that Chukwuemeka? Is he one of yours? I'm definitely butchering his name here.
Oh no, I think you're thinking of someone else. Yeah, I think you're thinking of Carney Chukwuemeka.
I'm pretty sure that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about. He's playing for Austria at the World Cup.
What?
Yeah.
Is he not English?
Probably was, but
fair enough. I mean, he is a good footballer. I really like him. I didn't realise he was in their squad. I mean,
but then you've also got Marko Arnautovic. Okay, he's old now, but he's still there. And you got Sabitzer.
He finds the back of the net. He finds the back of the net, Arnautovic,
and he can score all types of goals as well, which I think is going to be, very useful. But then Algeria, again, looking through their starting 11, there's a lot of players who I actually recognise. You've got one Benzabiani from Dortmund, you may recognise. Ait Nouri from Man City.
Yeah, Ait Nouri is a good footballer, yeah.
Ben Taleb, if you remember him from Spurs. He's had a fairly decent career.
Is he still going?
He's only 31. He's still going, but again, half decent player. But I think it's their attack which will be getting
I was going to say you're not thrilling me with a lot of confidence here for Algeria.
Well, give me a second.
Go on,
Mahrez. Okay, he's pushing it a bit, but we'll still have quality.
Yeah, still knows where the back of the net is. Yeah,
a guy called Amora from Wolfsburg, who quick, very attack minded. You also got a guy called Guri from Marseille, who I'm pretty sure was one of League One's top goal scorers this year. But their main one, who a lot of people won't know just yet, is a guy called Mazza. Plays for Bayer Leverkusen, attacking midfielder.
Right.
He's been called Mazzadonna.
Yeah, but I feel that's just a layup. You know, I don't think that's anything to do with the fact of how good he is. I feel that's just a layup.
He would definitely be one of those players that we probably need to keep an eye on throughout the tournament, just to see how good he is.
But that's like if a guy is just called Ronald and you go, well, you call him Ronaldinho, wouldn't you? I mean, I mean, naming through those players there, I don't necessarily even, I've heard of a couple of them, but I mean, they're an unknown quantity, and I think that, we have to be honest, without watching that much African football, because it's not something that's that easily available for us to watch here in the UK.
You
don't know what. No, but you don't really know what they work like together as a group. So, I think the thing with maybe that we're probably giving that little bit more advantage to for Austria is the fact of we've seen Austrian teams play before, and we've seen the Austrian players in question playing for other clubs across Europe and whatever, which, let's be honest, the United States, their whole campaign is the fact that they've got a couple of people playing in Europe. That is essentially the hope of their nation. Austria's full squad plays in Europe. I'm pretty sure, maybe by one or two. They're all going to play in decent leagues. They're all not going to be a million miles away from Austria. And again, we know European football to know that there is quality in those nations around it. I think this group, for me, only goes one way. I think it's Argentina top it, and then it's Austria second, Algeria third, and Jordan fourth. If I had to take my guess now, I don't think Algeria get out of the group. I've got to be completely honest. But with that being said, you might be talking a handful of goals might be the thing to get it out. But I just feel like Argentina are going to steamroll this group. I mean, I might even go as far as saying, and I know this sounds mental to say, but if Argentina ended the group with more than 15 goals scored, I would not be surprised. And that might be that a lot of them come against Jordan, or it might be that, they're evenly shed, but I think that 15 goals for Argentina is not a ridiculous shout, and I think that Austria are going to be the only one that even get remotely close to that. Algeria, maybe. They might, have a bit of the attacking flair. But I feel like European and South American football in this group will power through, because I just think the consistency's there. So unless you disagree with me here, Cameron, for me, this is Argentina, Austria, Algeria, Jordan in that order.
I think the only thing that could change is Algeria and Austria could switch places, but I would right now, I'd agree with how the order goes.
Yeah,
with Austria finishing second. And
yeah,
then,
I think Austria are the second best team in this group. So for me, I think they'll get it done.